Happy, happy New Year. New Year blessings to you and yours. I am Iris Denise Owens, and I am your host of the Autopsy of Her. It is 2023, y'all. I cannot believe it that we are back. We took a little break, and I hope you all had the opportunity to rest and regroup. But welcome to the Autopsy of Her. And on the line with me is my beautiful sister and co-host. Good morning, honey bunny. Or I should say good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon, honey bunny. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. And I am so excited that we are back in the groove and just looking forward to 2023. There's so much to do, so much to say, so much to see. And I'm in for all of it. So
Me and you both.
so today, guys, we wanted to, of course, it's a new year. We're not going to do the whole what are your new year resolutions and all that stuff. I have not done new year resolutions in years. We find that most people who do that, you do this new year resolution, and normally by January 31st you have already quit what you never even really started. So
You're
I
like,
don't.
what was that? What was that?
You're right. I thought I was gonna exercise, I was gonna eat better, I was gonna stop smoking, I was gonna stop drinking, I was gonna stop having sex, all these things. And then, like I said, normally by January 31st is a complete, I hadn't even done it, I didn't start it, or I did it for the first week of January and then it was over. So we are not gonna do that.
Nice words is just do it. Like, don't put a time frame on it. Don't say I'm
Right,
gonna do it.
right. And so what we had been talking about and what we are going to focus on today is uh daily segment. And so if you're saying, well, what does that mean? Daily segment. So one day of your life, right? Just think about how many moments you go through, how many segments happen in your one day of life, right? So it's like putting together, like, let's just say you were putting together a short
For real.
play
Yeah,
or a
real.
reel, exactly, a reel. And so I feel like, we were talking about the fact that, granted, it's a new year and we celebrate the new year, but we also realize that every day is a new day. Every day that we wake up, it is a complete brand new day. It's a new slate. It's a new opportunity. There's a new greeting. There's everything in each day, right? And
Mhm.
so, but the segments of your day are interesting. If you will journey with us for a moment, right? I'll talk about myself. I wake up in the morning and I say, oh my God, thank you, Lord, for a wonderful day. Thank you for watching over me last night. Thank you for waking me up this morning. Looking forward to this day. I do my prayers. I meditate, I do my ritual. I get up and I start my day. And then in my head, it's going to be a great day. But as soon as your phone either rings or you get an email or a text or you check the mailbox or something, and now you're like, what Evans? Damn. Right? You're like, this is not how I planned this day to go. So that's why we're saying daily segments, because in every day, some stuff, even if you, for the best planned days, things pop up
Mhm.
that you really, again, it reminds you how much lack of control we have on the happenings and the things that occur on a daily
Mhm.
basis.
Mhm.
So that's what we're going to focus today. So Steph, you, we were talking and you said, yeah, it's the segments of life. So what made you come to that thought process today?
Well, I something actually that I studied like through this thing called like Abraham Hicks, and it's like it's segments. Like every moment is a segment. Like you have to. It's like when you're trying to, even when you think about like it's for us to be entrepreneurs, and when you say like your goal to make a certain amount of money that month, you know, you break it down by the day. or you could break it down by the hour. It's the same thing with your day. Like we
Mhm.
will record now, and this segment of our day is over, and then we'll move into another segment.
Correct.
And part of that thing is because you could keep restarting that day. You don't have to stay in that mood. You don't have to stay in that ugly space. You could keep moving to a better space throughout the day. Or is
Right.
it better thing, whatever the situation is. But it is really true. Like, I'll move on and I'll go to the salon today. That'll be another segment of my day. Me
Right.
going to the salon is another segment. So the segments is like when your life changes from one thing to the next. And people don't look at your life like that, but it's really true. Your life is in constant changing motion throughout your day. It's
Mhm.
not just through the week, not through the month, not through the years, every single day.
Right.
And when you break it down like that, then not to mention, you see all of your accomplishments too. Because you
Correct.
go, I really didn't accomplish anything today. But when you break it down segment by segment, you'll see all the things that you did accomplish, you know, and
That's
that's how,
good. I like that.
yeah, yeah, because you accomplish a lot more than you think that you accomplish,
Right. And
and learning, right,
no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
and learning to what I've learned also through those studies is that when your spirit moves you to do something, you do it better than ever.
Mm,
When your
yes.
spirit is not in tune to do that, it's gonna be, you can get poor results because
Hmm.
you're not moved to do that,
Right.
you know, and when your spirit doesn't feel well, that's because, or you don't feel well, it's because your spirit is just, it's your indication that what you're doing or how you're feeling is not good.
That's a good
So,
point. That's a
mhm,
good point because I was, at the end of last year, I was contemplating some things that I want to do.
mhm,
And so first thing I want to focus is when you mentioned about being an entrepreneur, right? And so just this week I posted something, entrepreneur now. Someone who is willing to live a few years like most people won't, so that he can spend the rest of his life like most people can't,
mhm,
right?
mhm.
Entrepreneurship is a major, it is the, I would venture to say sometimes it is the ultimate sacrifice of living, because from day to day, each day, from month to month, from week to week, year to year, sometimes you don't know what's going to happen. Now, that doesn't mean you haven't planned what's going to happen. But again, we don't have control over things that fall apart, right? Because sometimes the best laid plans don't happen. And so I was talking to myself and saying what I wanted to do. And so last week, I think it was last week, Tuesday morning, I was laying in bed and I was awoke and no, I'm sorry, I was sleeping. And so, like I said, it was somewhere, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. And I was awoken, like wide awake.
Mm,
I just heard God said, it's time to move.
mm. That's powerful.
That was it. It's time to move. And so there had been conversations prior to me having that moment with that encounter with God. And I really felt like that was a confirmation from God. And I just said, wow, like, I always say, if I talk out loud, I do it so I can hear myself speak, but I also talk out loud so that God will answer me, right?
Mhm.
I know he will answer me whether I do it in silence or not, but it it goes back to what you just said about in your spirit, that sometimes things will come to us and we may say, oh, I need to do that. Or it comes to us and we won't move on it.
Right, exactly.
We
Mhm,
will we will sit, and typically it is something that we have been dreaming about, praying about, asking
mhm,
about,
mhm,
but because it doesn't come in the package wrapped in a bow the way we have envisioned it, we will not move on it.
Mm-hmm.
And so like we said from the beginning, life is a daily segment. So there's like action,
Mm-hmm.
take, cut, and start all over again. And so sometimes the scene is going to change because it is life.
Mm-hmm. It's
And
true.
I think that's where we get stuck, because we get stuck in how we have envisioned it. Right. And then when we
Yeah.
will ask, if we, whatever, whomever you believe and you pray to, but for me, if I ask God for something and then he drops it, I then can't go, nah, that ain't the way I was, that's not the way I saw it, God. I come on. I saw it with glitz and glam and da 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 da. God is
And
like,
not only that, people like, I want all this money. Well, what are you going to do with all the money? You know what I mean? It's like you can't eat all the food at the same time. It's the same. You can't spend all the money, So it's like you have to be in preparation for things.
right.
And the reality is you're not going to get any of the things that you desire until you're prepared for them.
And
And
you know what to do with it.
exactly. But and part of preparation is not to agonize when you don't have it, is to know that it's coming. It's the same idea as planting a seed and
Mm,
knowing that it's gonna grow. You know, I keep looking at it every day. It didn't grow yet, didn't grow yet. You
right,
know in your heart, in your spirit, it's no ifs, ands, and buts about it that it's gonna grow.
right,
Same thing about knowing that I have planted this seed, you know, in the universe, in God, and I asked him for it, and there's no ifs, ands, and buts that he's going to give me exactly what I asked for.
right,
What the form is and how it comes is may not be what you think it is, but you're gonna get it.
right,
I think that for you to, like, you, and not only that, you have to be happy about all the things you already have. Why
right,
would you ask God for a new car and you don't appreciate the car you have?
right,
No, a new home, you don't appreciate the home you have. A new
right,
anything, you don't appreciate all what you already have. That's not how that works. I want a new man, because he doesn't appreciate me, but you have to appreciate the situation, or you have to leave the situation to make room for a new man. You can't be in that space and thinking that God is going to bless your mess or bless the chaos that you're in, and think it's not going to work like that.
mm,
You have to let things go in order to let things in, or you have to clear things up, whatever it may be. You have to make room for all those things. But we're going to be, oh, I need this and I need that. That's not how you go to God.
well, and
Yep.
I agree with you on that. We cannot live in a slept rock mentality and expect to be blessed. Now,
No.
here's the thing. We're not saying you will not have moments of sadness.
Oh, of
We're
course.
not saying that there will not be moments of disappointment, because the reality of life, again, the segments in a day, we can go from being exuberantly happy and joyful to being just as saddened or feeling like we've been torn down in 1 second, because we have emotions. But the thing is that in these segments, it is also how we handle it. Like, I have been talking to myself, and my one thing for me is to, rather than moan and groan or bellyache about it, which I try not to do, but there are my moments where I teeter over that rabbit hole, right? The place that I am deadly afraid of. But I'll go to the rabbit hole and look at the rabbit hole, and and I'm like, no, I can't go down there.
Yeah.
But I'll hover over it, and I'll talk to it and stuff. And I'm like, I'm not going down there, but I'm talking to it. So it's like I'm feeding the fear. One of something that was said in church on Sunday was about not giving into fear.
Yeah.
And
Because
I
fear is not.
realized how important that is, because fear, right? will feed, if you feed into it, it will take over. It will change your whole thought process. It'll change your whole atmosphere. And if you give into it, you find yourself going down the rabbit hole, or you become less productive than you could have been, because now you're focusing on the fear, and fear turns in, doubt, and doubt turns into making you feel like I can't, I don't know how, I'm incompetent, and you're not those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And even at the moment where you may not know something, it doesn't mean that you don't have the ability to learn it, or
Which
to
is
find the way to get through it. And so those daily segments of life is to remind ourselves, like, when something happens, really seriously take the moment, whatever it will take for you to, if it means you need to go find a quiet space to go pray, then do that, right? If it means you need to do breathing exercises, and as we used to tell the kids, count the roses and blow out the candles and stuff like that, whatever it takes. If it means step outside of the environment that is creating this moment for you, step outside of it, go outside, clear your head, talk to God, you know, do what you need to do. But
and you need to do it. You don't want to live in that space. That space
right.
you won't find a resolution. But the one of the exercises that I'm doing now, that I will be working on this year, is writing a list of things that make you happy.
Mm,
And those things will lift your spirits in those times when your spirits are just kind of
yes.
daunting. You
Right.
know, and it's not easy to do, and I'm working on this with myself, but I encourage each and every one of you to stop regurgitating the past.
Mm,
You lose all your power.
yes.
You cannot do anything about that.
Yes.
And, telling those sad stories of the pain and the hurt and everything, you cannot continue to tell stories over and over again and think
Right.
it's going to heal you, because it's not. It's
Right.
going to keep you in it's like you move 10 steps forward and it drags you 20 steps
Right.
back. Every
Right.
time you tell that story, you give it new energy.
Right.
And
You keep throwing gas on the smoldering fire. And
exactly.
because it's smoldering, and you need to let it smolder till it burns out.
Yeah.
And yes, absolutely take the time to talk about it, but don't keep talking about it. Like,
Yeah.
I agree with you,
Yeah.
Steph. The more
Yeah.
we rehash something, that is the epitome of going down the rabbit hole.
And you don't
Because if
think
you
like,
keep,
it's just it be a general conversation. Women like,
right,
oh, I'm dating this guy, this happened. You're like, oh yeah, happened to me, but and you're not even thinking, girl, you're just going down there and not even intentionally. And y'all
yes,
all like, oh man, he was crazy. Y'all just start getting this conversation, whatever it was. And
yes,
it's like, yeah, you done brought yourself, but come on, okay. Like, well,
right,
what do we want now? What do we want to look forward to? What do we want
right,
new in our lives? And because it's so easy. People have those conversations each and every day, and you don't even realize that you're having them before. Like, and some people have healed enough that they don't feel it. Then some people be like, oh man, it could happen 5 years ago, and you're depressed about what happened 5 years ago, because you done really got into this whole conversation, told that whole story all over again. And mind you, it's not the same story, because the story changes as
right.
years go.
Because it's from your perspective, you have added things, you have deleted
Well, the
things,
reality is we
you
don't have
a
we don't have
role.
but we don't remember. It's our emotions that we
Oh,
remember. Like, it's really
absolutely.
just our body. But be like, I remember that. No, it's the
Right,
emotions that you feel. So your
right,
emotions change the things as years go on. So it's a different kind of, it's a different kind of story. Oh, you see those things that say, can you roll the tape, please? You
right. Roll the tape
like
back.
stuff
Because
and
we will quickly say, I never said that.
exactly.
Press play.
Yeah.
Here
That's
you
like,
are saying it, right? So
we
you're
had this
right.
conversation. You said this, and literally, it could be something like, we've had conversation. I'm like, no, they said this, but like, let me read the text message again. Let me read it to you. I'll tell you, because what I'm saying to you, and I know
Mhm.
I said it's not verbatim, because I know I'm just, scaling over
Right,
it. Because sometimes I'll reread it. I'm like, oh, see, that's what they said. Because I know I'm missing something. But
right,
we're
right.
humans. What it comes down to. Humans are going to human. But we have to be so careful. And that's the big thing that I definitely am working on, for not just 2023, for the rest of my life. not going down that rabbit hole. Like
Right.
we first got on this morning, I had just was getting calls as I was really in the funk, like, oh my God, like I figure out how I'm gonna handle this. So my spirit was really down because you came on, I saw the call coming through, and I'm like, yeah, I gotta handle that. So
Right.
I was really like, yeah, girl,
And so this is the person who, because if you guys listen to us, who would, a couple of months ago said, I'm never sad. I'm never. And so I have to remind you, yeah, you choose to be happy or you choose to be sad. Now, that doesn't mean, yes, in life, things do happen that, yes, will make us sad, that hurt. And you definitely need to process those moments, right? But you take those moments just like life in segments, and you can't continue to let that be a rerun. If that's a good thing. That's what it is. Stop rerunning. Stop playing the reruns of the negative things in your life, because those are normally the things we play the reruns of.
It's true. We don't play the reruns of
We
the
don't
happy.
we don't play the reruns of the good times. Oh my God, good times and reruns. Oh my God.
We are upside down. We are upside down in the world anyway. So that's why we do things so much upside down. And like I would tell
Yes.
my kids that, and my thing is being upside down is like when you get comfortable in your relationships and your marriages or whatever, then you're no longer loving to your mate, your spouses, like a lot of people. But no, you see the mailman, the milkman, whatever. Oh, good morning. How are you? But you should be like that to the person that you woke up with, the people
Yeah.
in your homes, whatever. I mean, it's like you go when you need money, you try to go get a loan to bank. No, you don't need no money. They want to give you all the money in the world. It's quite disgusting, actually. You know what I mean? And it's like, and I taught my kids this: the world is upside down, and it goes to that way also. Oh, just tell all the sad stories.
No.
But no, why not tell all the happy stories?
Right. We got to stop playing the violin of the oh, woe is me. And I know that sounds
boom, boom.
right. That part. Play the beat of with the things in your life that makes your heart beat and makes you happy and brings that joy out of you, that when people see you, they're like, oh, what's going on? Right? Because when we are joyful, when we live in that segment of our life that is peace, that is joy, that is happiness, that it's not the same.
You get so much stuff though. It's like amazing. People are like, oh, you're so happy. People give me free stuff. My son, you say to me when he's like, mommy, why people give you free stuff all the time? He's like, you just make me like, oh my God. Some people it's like the sunshine. I was having a conversation with my boyfriend one day, and we were at a deli. We hadn't become like official yet. And we were sitting there, and the lady was sitting in the car. I didn't even notice this woman. But she could see me, but she couldn't see him. And she got out of the car and she said to me, oh my God, you just made my day just watching you laugh, and you were having so much fun, And he said, like, you should be saying that. He turned around, you should be saying to me, I'm the one that's making her laugh. But the lady was like, she was like, oh, I was so happy to see you. It was just like a great feeling, just me laughing. She couldn't even hear our conversation. She just saw me, as you can see, I'm animated. She just saw me being animated and cracking up. It just made her whole day.
Because joy is contagious.
Oh my God.
That's the one. I think we forget that joy, happiness is contagious.
Because
right?
the world makes you feel like you should not be happy. And that's the big mistake that we have put out in the universe, that you should not, oh no, oh you should. And even people that love you don't know. They will like, what you so happy about? You should be happy about that. And it's like, why shouldn't you be happy?
Why shouldn't I be? I woke up today.
But it's just like, even, well, prime example, you start a new relationship. Oh yeah, it's good for now.
But that's when you walk away. And see, those type of comments don't deserve an answer. And we feel like we have to defend, and you don't have to defend.
Yeah, no.
That's the thing. You don't have to defend.
Oh, even when people are getting mad, well, you give you some advice, because you're a new couple. And like, you can make that relationship, that marriage, whatever you want it to be. But it's just like the same thing. All mother-in-laws are horrible. All mother-in-laws are not horrible. It's all these different things that are put that out there. Daughters and mothers.
All stepmothers are horrible. All stepchildren are horrible. And here's the thing. Those things are not true because every individual brings something different to every relationship. Life is relational. And so if you get stuck in you believe the negative before you will seek the positive, and that's what it is. We will believe the negative before we seek the positive. And we'll get stuck on the negative because it's easier to believe, oh, this person is going to be horrible. This person is just not, I've already heard these things about them. But that's funny because we don't typically, again, we don't share the joy that someone has brought us. We start off with the negative, and then, then we may add some positives, but I will have to say they were this, that, and the other. But how about if we just started with the positive and realize that we all have negative attributes in life because we're human.
Well, that's a given. My thing is like,
we're human.
Okay, great things about a person. Yeah, because we all have those same traits. You know what I mean? Some people have more than others, but why are we just focusing on, oh, you just wait when they get tired, or when this happens, but where are we going with this?
Because that is when we live in hurt, we live in pain, we live in non-resolution, or we haven't resolved issues, when we live in trauma, when we live in fear, we live in all the things of negativity. That is how we see the world. That is how we see everything. And so it is learning how to, like I said, take those daily segments in life and have the opportunity to process it, but don't live there in the negative. Figure out the positive of it. If you're like Steph and I are both entrepreneurs, right? And so if we only sat and depended on the one thing that we do, and that one thing is not generating what we need, what would we be? Out of business.
Exactly.
And so my point is that you have to learn how to make multiple streams in your life for what you need to do, what you need to accomplish. So if A didn't work, what's your B? And if B didn't work, what's your C?
I'm telling you, hey, there's more ways to skin a cat. Okay.
Absolutely. And even though a cat has 9 lives, there's still more than one way to skin a cat.
Exactly. So, you have to figure that out. And you have to really, even your loved ones and people that mean you well, you have to guard yourself, guard your ears when that negativity comes. You know what I mean? It's like, prime example, people, I'm buying a house. Oh, you want all those bills and this comes with a house? Oh, come on now.
You're going to have bills whether you buy it or rent it.
Exactly. So I mean, like that's what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't like stuff like that. Never did. Let people have their joy. Everything does not end up. Everybody's not. And really, in reality, in the world, more people are led to believe that more people are unhappy than they are happy. More people are happy than they are.
Yes,
unhappy.
They are. But the things that are put out to us in the world are the negative
energy. It has like that, it's like, it's like, you know what I'm saying? And we need to feel the happy, feel the happy energy. That's what we need to feel, because it's real. And when you attract what you put out happy energy. I tell you,
it comes back to you.
I tell you all the time, I definitely can testify. It will come back to you 100-fold over and over again. And that is really one of the reasons why I try to bring my energy level up. Even as bad as I was feeling before, when we talked earlier, it's like I know I cannot live in that space because it's not going to do me well.
But you have to take the time to process.
Yes,
you take the time to process. And listen, by the time we're finished with this, you're gonna, that beautiful bright smile, bam, there it is, comes back, right? And you will walk out your door today with your head held high and with all the things in mind that you know you need to do today or that you plan to accomplish today. So it is energy. It is absolutely energy. And we just need to learn how to, as we go through our day, how to shift that energy from, even when the negative stuff happens, right? How we switch that to on the positive and figure out, well, what do I do from here? If this is the situation, what do I need to do from here? Right. Exactly. And if it's a situation that's, I can't reverse it or I can't do anything about it, you can do something about it, because how you react to it, how you deal with it, is how you will prosper through it.
Oh, exactly true. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. But I was thinking about that. Wasn't a song like "Get on the Good Foot"? I was like, you gotta
Yes,
get on your good foot. You gotta get on
right.
your foot. I tell
So
you.
before we go today, there was something I pulled up, and I was, you know, I'm always looking for things to read and to share. And so this little thing is called Habits to Help You Prosper. It says network, dream big, plan ahead, get up early, stay focused, watch less TV, invest in yourself, read more books, avoid time wasters, take calculated risks, write down your goals, make your health a priority, do what matters to you, learn from people you admire, foster meaningful relationships, cultivate an attitude of gratitude, take action even when it's scary, have a powerful and inspiring why. If that don't make you feel like, okay, okay. I just felt like that is the thing we forget. We forget joy because we will allow negativity to eat away at us. We will allow a bad moment to change our whole outlook and
Exactly. A whole
perspective of,
trajectory of the day, of the
right,
life.
a whole perspective. We will allow something that is negative to make us forget rather how much we have in fact
That's
come,
right.
how
That's right.
far we have gone, how much
Mhm.
we have accomplished, how much
Exactly.
there is yet still for us to do. And
Yeah.
so I'm not just talking to you, I'm talking to me too. I'm just reminding us all, like as it is said, everything we need is already inside of us.
It's so true.
And we have to remember to open those chapters where the power lives. And the
That's right.
power lives in the positivity, our joy, our happiness, and our outlook of what we see.
And,
So
and, and
in your daily segment, just remember those things.
and it's love. Like at the end of the day, it's so true. You know, I was having this conversation when you're taking your last breath, you're not worrying about like the money in the bank, your house. It's love. You know what I mean? And
End of story.
it's love because you think like when you're loving somebody, you know, like they're loving you, but you're loving them, and it's a reflection of love. And it like how you love your siblings, your parents, your uncles, your aunts, your cousins, you know, your spouse, you know, your boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever, your children, you know, your pet. It's love, you know, and that's and truly it's the most, you know, simple thing, but love does make the world go round.
Yes, it
uh,
does.
and we need more of it. And I think that there's so much negativity been put into the world that it makes people afraid to love, you
Right.
know. And love is we were made in love. God created us in love. We are love. So that's the most natural thing for us to do is to love.
Yep. And if
Love.
even if you're scared, do it
Yeah.
scared. You'll be
Yeah.
surprised how much joy it will bring you. Do
I
it
mean,
scared.
you know, you like your pet love people love their pets. Oh, they feed them, they take care of them. And you know, but and like the pet, like not all pets, don't get me wrong, but if somebody else fed them, they're gonna love them too. You know what I mean? But you're not afraid to love this pet. You know what I'm saying? So
But that's the difference between humans.
mm-hmm.
We have a higher level of intelligence to know
Exactly
the difference between is not just basic needs.
right.
Though we also know that a person lacking basic needs in life will not live a good life. They will
No,
turn out to be probably the worst person because basic needs are required. And basic needs are water, food, shelter, love,
yeah, yeah,
right? Without those things, we could shrivel up and die. But with those things, we will flourish. Just like you said in the beginning about putting a seed in the ground. If it's watered, if it's fed, if it's loved, if it's given light, whatever it needs, it will flourish. Mm-hmm. Now, don't do that and see what happens. It's going to shrivel up and die. Mm-hmm. So that's a real important point. So just remember that. Hey, basic needs must be met. Mm-hmm. Joy is one of your most vital weapons in life. Happiness, joy, peace, right? Being true to yourself. And stop watching the reruns, or stop.
The reruns of your
the reruns of your life. No, stop that.
Yes,
turn that show off. A matter of fact, unsubscribe to that subscription.
Or make a highlight reel of your happy part of your
life. And play it. Ooh, that's a good challenge. We should. Okay, hey guys.
That's part of right now.
I want you to make a reel. Make a reel of your happy moments and save it for yourself. If you want to post it, great. But if you don't want to post it, save it for yourself so that in those moments when something is like eating at your happiness and your joy, you can play that reel and remind yourself what's really important.
Well, it could be, it could be a mental highlight reel. That's because that negative highlight reel is mental. It could be a mental happiness highlight reel.
I love that. That's a good thing, guys.
That make you happy.
I'm going to make my reel today. So, well, guys, we hope that you all will have a wonderful weekend. We hope that we said something that really stirred something in your spirit. Go find your joy, find your peace, find your happiness. Turn off the negative reruns, right? When you find yourself starting to talk about it, go, ooh, I have promised myself that I'm not going to watch that again.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. So,
and when you're a group of people talking about it, and I have to I don't know where I'm going to go with this because, sometimes, especially being a life coach, and sometimes I used to use myself as an example, but not really go too far in it, And then I have to listen to people tell their story. And they not got to get off their chest, but they've been like, how long ago that happened to you? 10 years ago, but they're still living so much in that space. So, I'm working on that, how to figure out how to pull myself out of that. So,
well, what you teach people is that the way to work yourself out of that is that when you are talking about it, you give the highlights of how, when you came out of it. Mm-hmm. You don't focus on all the negative and you spend a whole hour talking about how horrible it was. You give a snippet, and then if you're going to spend an hour, the hour needs to be how you came out of that and how the joy you found once you were released from whatever it was that was holding you back. Right. That's how you do that. Because we have to focus on the positive, not acting like the negative didn't happen, because the negative is real. And until a person deals with the negative, they cannot move on. And so the reason why we do that is because we're literally stuck in that moment. We're stuck in the trauma of whatever has happened to us. Yeah. So that's how you help people. You got to they have to be able to release it, talk about it, get over it. And you may never get over it, but you got to teach them how to get through it.
Yeah. But you put it in a place.
Yes. You have to put it in a place because everything has a place.
Everything has a place. Well, it's our tapestry. We weave in that tapestry of life as we go every single day. So it goes part of your tapestry. And once your life is over, you have this beautiful tapestry of your life.
Yep. So guys, again, have a great weekend. We love you. I love you. I love you, Steph. You have any final last words?
Yeah. Have a great weekend. And remember your highlight reel of happiness.
Yes.
And work on that. Definitely. And focus on it often, very often.
Often. In your daily segments.
Exactly.
We love you guys. Have a great weekend. Love you, honey bunny.
Love you too, honey bunny.
Bye.